Today on Prime Male Evolution, we're diving into one of the most uncomfortable truths in human psychology: why so many women are magnetically drawn to bad men, and in extreme cases, actual monsters. This isn't fiction, it's reality. Men convicted of horrific crimes on death row regularly receive floods of love letters and marriage proposals. Women have shown up to trials in wedding dresses. There are entire websites dedicated to connecting women with violent prisoners. And this pattern doesn't stay on the fringes. It flows straight into mainstream culture through the massive true crime industry and the exploding dark romance genre. We're going to break down the full spectrum of this attraction, examine the clear gender gap, explore the deep evolutionary and psychological reasons behind it, and discuss what this means for men who want to build strong lives and relationships. At the extreme end, there's a documented phenomenon called hybristophilia, sexual and romantic attraction to people who have committed serious crimes. This isn't rare, it's well studied. Step back from the extremes, and you hit women's obsession with the genre of true crime. Women make up the overwhelming majority of listeners for true crime podcasts, serial killer documentaries, and horror movies depicting captivity, etc. Women are the main consumers of these genres, accounting for billions of streams and downloads each year. Many consume graphic details of violence and power dynamics and then discuss them with great enthusiasm in online communities. Some even visit locations and known crime scenes. Then comes the biggest cultural force, the literary genre called dark romance. This genre is worth well over $1 billion a year. Books featuring dangerous, dominant, violent anti-heroes, mafia bosses, captors, ruthless, powerful men dominate the charts. Millions of women obsess over stories of being taken, controlled, and claimed by dangerous men or monsters. They contain explicit acts involving werewolves, vampires, or even minotaurs. The acts described are often violent, and they go far beyond what we can describe here on YouTube. Monster romance is exploding too, with graphic fantasies involving beasts and creatures. Another revealing pattern is how heavily women dominate consumption of the most graphically explicit adult content, featuring intense power imbalances, dominance, submission, and degrading dynamics that often border on violence or non-consent. While women publicly emphasize wanting respectful, equal, and emotionally safe relationships, their private consumption patterns frequently tell a different story. Categories involving rough dominance, captivity themes, and power exchange consistently rank among the highest searched and viewed by female audiences across major platforms. This doesn't mean every woman acts on these fantasies, but it does highlight a clear disconnect between what many women say they want in real life and what strongly arouses them in fantasy. The same evolutionary wiring that draws them to dominant, dangerous men in stories appears to drive massive demand for this type of explicit material. The gender gap for this type of content is undeniable. The vast majority of fan mail and romantic interest toward violent male criminals comes from women. Female criminals receive almost none of the same attention from men. Dark romance is overwhelmingly a female-driven industry. Women consistently say they want kind, emotionally available, respectful men for real relationships. Yet their entertainment choices and fantasies often reveal something very different. The ultimate fantasy in these stories is remarkably consistent: a dark, tall, extremely handsome, ultra-dominant billionaire or powerful man, dripping with danger and dark triad traits, who, for some reason, becomes completely obsessed with an average, plain, or inexperienced woman and is fiercely loyal only to her. He'll destroy anyone who threatens her, but he's gentle and devoted exclusively to her. The protagonist is deliberately written as very ordinary, so that as many women as possible can identify with the fantasy. In reality, high-value men with genuine dark triad traits and abundant options rarely become loyal, one-woman partners to average women. The fantasy that she will be the magical exception who tames the monster and earns his undying loyalty is one of the most seductive and dangerous lies women tell themselves. Why does this happen? It starts with evolutionary wiring. For most of human history, women were extremely vulnerable during pregnancy and early motherhood. They needed mates who could dominate other men, protect resources, and ensure survival. Dominance, assertiveness, risk-taking, and controlled violence were powerful signals of a man who could rise in the hierarchy and protect his woman and children. This is where the dark triad, narcissism, Machiavellianism, and psychopathy, enters the picture. These traits project confidence, charisma, and unapologetic dominance. In ancestral environments, that edge often meant status and protection. The peak fantasy is simple: the most dangerous man in the world, but safe and gentle only with her. Psychologically, many women are drawn to the idea that they can fix him. Others chase the adrenaline thrill, fear, and sexual arousal fire, similar pathways in the body. Some repeat familiar trauma patterns. Fantasy provides the excitement without immediate real-world consequences. The hard truth for good men. This creates a painful paradox. Society tells men to be soft, gentle, agreeable, and emotionally open. Those qualities are valuable for long-term relationships and fatherhood. But primal female attraction often responds more powerfully, at least initially, to the dark triad edge. The overly nice, conflict-avoidant, self-sacrificing nice guy frequently gets friend-zoned. Not because kindness itself is unattractive, but because it can signal weakness when it lacks backbone and strength. The answer is not to become cruel or criminal. That path destroys lives. Real strength means integrating both sides, dangerous capability with conscious control. Never lay your hands on a woman or a child. Men who can't control their emotions and violence are weak. Instead, build real power. Lift heavy weights. Train in martial arts. Develop an unbreakable frame. Speak truth. Set hard boundaries. Become the kind of man who could be dangerous if necessary, but chooses honor, purpose, protection, and leadership. That rare combination satisfies both ancient instincts and the need for long-term stability. There's a massive difference between being a genuinely strong, kind, benevolent protector and being a weak, overly accommodating doormat. Just as there's a difference between healthy assertiveness and cruel narcissism. Women who chase pure darkness usually pay a heavy price. The ones who eventually want stable families often learn the hard way that the "I can fix him" fantasy rarely ends well. Brother, understand female nature without bitterness. Use it as fuel. Become the complete man, strong, capable, dominant when required, but grounded in purpose and values. The world wants soft, compliant men. Reject that script. Master the beast within and build the version of yourself that commands genuine respect. If this video hit hard, drop a comment. Have you seen the Bad Boy Allure play out in real life? Share this with a person who needs the truth. Hit subscribe and turn on notifications. We're not here to cope. We're here to rebuild stronger men. This is Prime Male Evolution. You're in your prime. Act like it.